The Australian Ghost Whisperer with Katerina Legato and James Jennings.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Australian Ghost Whisperer. Hi Katerina.
Hello James, hi everyone.
I like we've got a candle here today, keeping us warm.
Yes.
Kind of
keeping us warm.
Yes, it's getting cold. Don't know where you guys are in the world, but it's definitely getting a bit chilly where we are. But we shall persevere as we always do. Now, on today's episode, we are going to talk about timelines and timelines splitting, which a lot of people who are kind of interested in the supernatural or the esoteric may be aware of this concept. You might think it sounds a bit way out there, but hey, everything in the supernatural and paranormal is a bit out there, and that's what we do. We deal with the weird stuff, Kat.
Sure do.
So today we're going to dive right into some weird stuff and talk about not only timeline splitting, but ascension. And I know you know a lot about both these topics. So where would you like to begin? With the timelines?
Yeah, I believe we're going through many shifts. Humanity as a human family, we're going through many different shifts, and people are shifting at different levels. So it means that those who have been working on themselves for a long time and are kind of fully awake and have a very strong connection to God, the universe, are feeling it perhaps more than others that are not doing so much work on themselves. So, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, look, the difference that I can sense in some people is that some people are very much focused and enmeshed in the material world, which is not a judgment. It's just we live in a material world, but some people are so deeply attached to it that they have completely forgotten about, I guess, their spiritual self. They may completely disregard it, disbelieve it's an actual thing, but it's like they are so, really for them, what they see around them, what they can touch, what they can feel is all there is. Again, not a judgment call, it makes sense. We live in a physical reality, but then you've got people who have an innate sense of energy and spirituality, and there's an awareness that there is a lot more going on to our reality than what we can see. So they're two pretty opposing points of view, Katerina. So how is it that these two opposing forces can coexist in life? And when you talk about timeline splitting, does that mean that the division between those two differences of seeing things is going to increase?
Yes, absolutely. People going on different paths. So I'm seeing more and more as I speak with people and clients. It's like, the family seems to be splitting up, or I'm suddenly feeling like I want out of my marriage, or I want out of my, whatever relationship's going on, or I'm not feeling so connected to the friends that I've had around me. So it's different degrees of personal evolution that soul is going through that's determining where they're at and where they want to be. So people, I feel, that are really growing and evolving and ascending are looking for their own tribe. They're being drawn to like-minded people. So therefore they're no longer happy in maybe their 9-to-5 job. They're feeling dissatisfied. They're feeling like they want to move into something or work that holds more meaning for them, where they're working from their heart space rather than their head space. So there's these types of internal shifts going on. The thing that I'm finding is people sometimes are still quite fearful. It's like their heart's saying, for example, to go into a particular direction, but they're having this inner battle with their head that's kind of going, oh no, I'm scared. What if it doesn't work out? What if I, don't make the money I'm making now? So it's a really important time to follow the heart, to go with that inner voice, because the heart is the heart chakra. It is, I feel like this is the seed of our divine spark that is guiding us. So I feel like the veils are becoming thinner to the other side, to the higher realms, and that there's a lot more downloads, communication going on, and people are receiving these downloads from their higher selves, from the God within them, to make these changes, because these changes means that it brings greater satisfaction and happiness and joy to their lives, allows them to live in a way that is where they feel they have so much more freedom, rather than being tied down to, you know, the grind of the 9 to 5. And it's helping people to evolve their talents. They're bringing out those talents, those hidden gifts that they've probably acquired through many other lifetimes, and they're bringing them to the surface to share and to help other people that need that type of help. Yeah. Whereas then you've got the, like you were saying, the very materialistic people, or the NPCs that are just not interested at all. Their interest is only they're loving the 9 to 5 grind and going home, feeling safe, feeling secure, having their meal, watching some silly movie on TV, and then going to bed. And so those evolved people have nothing in common with these types of people, and we've all got them in our friendships, in our circle of friends, family, and you're just feeling like, I'm not connecting with this person anymore. Like, they're boring, or we just have nothing in common. Or the NPC is looking at this person who has got the evolved kind of energy about them and going like, that's really way out stuff. How could you leave your job? How could you do this to yourself? You're crazy. Yes. So people are going in different timelines because Mother Earth herself is moving into a higher frequency, and it is one of freedom, of growth, of more love, of more kindness and connection.
Okay. And talking about people finding their tribe, I know that in a previous episode that we did, we talked a lot about haunted houses and haunted buildings, and you mentioned that a lot of times why this happens is because you'll have lower energy spirits in a building, and they will attract other lower energy spirits. So it's like that lower energy attracts lower energy.
It's an energetic match.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going for. It's a resonance with an energy that matches where you're at. So we're becoming more in life. We're becoming more where we're trying to match the energy that we're at, and we're sort of moving further away and discarding the energies that don't really vibe with us anymore. Is that the right way to say it?
Yes. We're moving more towards, we're gravitating towards those experiences that are meaningful, that bring purpose to our personal lives. We're manifesting from a much clearer space.
Yes.
We're manifesting, we're manipulating kind of the energy, and we're changing it and moving in the direction of what we truly desire, rather than holding back and being in a space of fear, or I can't do this, or I'm scared to do that. We're becoming, I feel, with seeing a lot of people, so much more courageous to step out of the confines of, what feels safe into, well, I'm going to jump over this cliff because I know I'm going to land somewhere really exciting.
Yes.
And I'm not speaking literally. I'm not at all suggesting do not go jump off a cliff. But you're doing things that perhaps, 4 or 5 years ago, you would have never thought to have done something like that.
Sure.
But those people that are making those changes are like becoming so excited and happy and making these incredible changes and living that life that they would never have even dreamt of.
Yeah, absolutely. And a good example of like living from your heart, and how that is such a positive thing on your entire being, and how it can lead to beautiful things, is all the time just look at children, because children are yet to kind of like be programmed into the 9 to 5. Go to school, this is how you live your life, They're very much, especially young children, they're experiencing life very much from heart-based energy, because that's all they know. They know to follow what brings joy, what brings happiness, and all those other things that kind of like can sully adult life haven't filtered into their existence, right? So if you look at kids, like being more childlike, I think is a really valuable thing. If everyone who's listening or watching, think about how you saw the world when you were a kid. I bet you there was a whole lot more happiness and joy, because you weren't thinking about all of these constructed things that are kind of designed to keep you in your box and to keep you down. You just followed your heart. You did what lit you up and brought you joy. And the thing is, we think that we get to an age and we sort of outgrow that. We can carry that throughout our entire lives, Kat. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Or if that flame gets a little extinguished or it dims a bit, you can always bring it back. I think that remembering to be childlike and to be living and making choices from that heart space can, as an adult, can seem scary. You're like, well, I've got bills to pay and blah, blah, blah. But I do fully believe that when you take those leaps of faith, there is always going to be a safety net there to catch you. It's almost like the universe rewards actions that are taken from the heart and that are designed to generate joy.
Yeah, beautifully said. Yeah, absolutely. And when you're living from that space from your heart, you're able to create the prosperity and the abundance that you desire, because you're doing it for purely for love. And when you're doing something purely from the heart, then that expands and grows. When you're doing something from fear, then that shrinks and suppresses.
Yes.
So people that are living from their heart are expressing themselves from a space of creativity and that higher frequency. Therefore, that's the energy that grows and expands.
Yes.
And this is why then what they're trying to change and manifest within their life comes to be, because it's an energy that grows and expands. Fear just shrinks and suppresses.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you think that, like, with people existing at different energetic levels, is that a choice that they've made on a soul level? Like, I'm going to experience this incarnation at this level and another person, or like, I'm just wondering if people have any say or choice in the vibe that they're at, or the level that they're at energy wise. Like, I'm probably not really explaining that very well, but do you know what I mean?
I feel we always have a choice. I think that we are realizing, as many people as a human race, that we've been slaves to a system for too long.
Yes, that's it.
And I just feel that we've kind of, many of us, whether it's conscious or unconscious, we've decided that we want to break free, that we want to take possession of our lives almost.
Yes,
and it's like, if I'm going to be here, I want to exist on my terms rather than, what the system tells me I need to do.
And the system is designed very much to benefit, a minority at the top, and the masses are sort of guided to... I know this sounds like a conspiracy, but it's true. It's not a conspiracy. It's like the rich people are at the top of the tree, like the billionaires are at the top of the tree. And how do you think they became billionaires? Because they've got all these people underneath them who've done the work to help them get rich. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it works. It's not a conspiracy. It's just the way it is. So you can make a choice. Am I just a cog in the machine here to prop up the machine? Or am I actually going to step out and design and experience my own reality? I know which one I would prefer.
Yeah, exactly. But I do always sort of feel that there's leaders and followers.
Yes.
There's people that, the followers that need that constructed job or, direction. This is what you do. You get up in the morning, you go to work, you do this set of whatever it is you're doing in your job, and then you go home.
Yeah.
And then there's leaders. These are the people who, have the ideas, that can see, they can look at something and kind of go, right, how can I change that and make it better?
Yeah.
How can I bring this into my world?
Yep.
They want to grow, they want to evolve. They don't want to just be here having a job, then retire, then you die, and then you wait and come back again to do it again. They're here because they want to make a difference to the world.
Yes. And often they do that through taking risks.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, or bringing things into the world that they'll be remembered for.
Yeah.
So this is where I'm seeing, to me, what the Ascension Timeline shifts, what it means. It's like, when one person does it and it sets off a chain reaction, and then 100,000, and then it becomes millions of people start, then we're changing the pattern, we're changing the energy of this world, of this system into one that was going to suit us and the future generations more, where we are entitled to more joy. And maybe rather than we just have a weekend off, we work 2 days and have 5 days off.
I could get with that.
I could do that. Why can't we
not?
change it?
Yeah.
If there's enough of us to refuse to participate
Yeah.
in the, kind of again 9 to 5 grind,
Yeah.
eventually the system will have to collapse.
Yes.
And oblige to our needs.
Exactly. And the thing is as well, so people will just say, oh, well, that's just the way it is. But it's only the way it is because someone decided that that's what it was going to be. You didn't decide it. Everything comes from somewhere. There is a genesis for every construct in life, whether it's work or whatever. It comes from somewhere. Someone designed it to be a certain way, and it behooves you. I love it when I get to say behoove. It behooves you to question these things and think about, is this what I want my reality to be? Because you have far more agency in this than you realise. Like, people don't understand they have a lot more power and agency than what they realise. And I think that real change on a big scale is possible and can happen when enough people wake up to that fact. So when we do talk about timelines splitting, Katerina, I guess we're talking about, those energetic matches, and suddenly you're going off on a path that is going to resonate and match your energy, and people are just, whether that's high, low, whatever. Is that the best way to describe timeline shifts when people use that term?
Yeah, I think, absolutely. And we're coming out of, I feel that the timelines of kind of slavery and feeling, restricted to one of much more freedom. And we're not just setting ourselves free, we're setting free, everyone else, and we're setting free the way, nature, and perhaps, taking care of Mother Earth better and looking after and appreciating and maybe making this world a much happier and better place for the future generations.
Yeah, well,
that's what I feel the Ascension process is. Not so much, I don't know, people say, we're going to move into a new earth and it's all going to be clean and pristine. Well, if you haven't done the work on yourself, you think you're going to move into a new earth and then you're going to start trashing it the way we trash this one.
Exactly.
It's like, I don't think so that we're going to get a new earth if we've messed up this one.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that we're meant to clean up this mess
before
and turn this into the new earth.
Yeah.
We can't just trash a place and then expect we're going to be handed a new earth.
Yeah, exactly. So, you crashed the car again. Here, take another new car.
Yeah, exactly. You can't walk out and you've bought yourself a brand new Mercedes. You've smashed it, and then you go back and say, can I have a new? This is the delusion of a lot of this new age crap that I think we need to take responsibility. And I think that part of the Ascension process is also really, looking at what's going on through the eyes of truth, and really being able to say, okay, I'm one person, but what can I do to change this? How can I make changes? And the changes will often come within yourself, where you change your life, and then that is like a domino effect for everybody else that you kind of activate with your new higher frequency.
Absolutely.
Because we're all interconnected in so many ways. So, and I think that, as we move through this process, we probably find ourselves leaving behind those people that are like the NPCs that just want to stick to whatever it is that makes them feel safe. We no longer feel that we have anything in common. It's no longer an energetic match. So we're moving away and we're finding like-minded people, because there's always, the power lays in more numbers. Obviously, we know that. And, we're exchanging these thoughts and ideas and concepts. And I think it's beautiful. I think that's all about growing and becoming the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
And being able to leave a legacy where people can remember you.
Yeah.
Where there's so many selfish people that just live for themselves.
Take,
and it's all about them, and they don't care. They leave this world and they couldn't care less what.
Yeah. It's like, just leaving your rubbish around and like, oh, well, someone else will take care of it.
Clean up the mess I made.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's not how it works.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah. And your social circle might change. It might shrink when you start, gravitating more towards people who are in your frequency. But, that's just the way it is. It's like sometimes... what's the saying? Quality, not quantity. It might be that your life starts becoming a bit more quality, not quantity. But it's I don't know. It's about resonating with what is joyful and what feels true. And sometimes looking at what's true can be difficult, and it can be hard in terms of looking at what's around you and looking within yourself. But if you're willing to face harsh truths and look at things for how they really are, I think there are great rewards to be had.
Absolutely. Sometimes people are made to stop and really look, whether that can come via an illness or, you lost your job or whatever, or there's a marriage breakup or relationship breakup where you kind of feel like I'm the dark night of the soul and I'm all alone and I've got to really look at this. And when you really, move with that rather than resist it, then you kind of see that, okay, well, maybe that breakup was meant to be, because now I'm resolving these issues that I was avoiding, or, maybe losing that job was a good thing because now I can start that business that I always dreamt of doing.
Yes.
There's always, I feel, as they say, that old saying, the light at the end of the tunnel. It may take, you've got to walk through a lot of darkness before you get to the end of that tunnel. But I think that, if you can walk through the dark times with that faith and knowing that you really are this incredibly powerful divine spirit, that you can, bring and attract and shift into, a life where there can be more joy. I'm not saying nothing's ever going to be perfect in this world the way it is, but you can certainly move into a space where you feel that you're living from a space of love rather than kind of living under that hammer all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And if that resonates with you, if that kind of speaks to you, let us know in the comments. If you have a story yourself where you might have followed your heart and taken a leap of faith and taken a risk and things have, panned out and changed your life, we'd love to hear about it. So do please leave us a comment. We'd love to hear what you guys are up to. And thanks again, Katerina, for your wonderful insights.
Oh, thank you, James, and your insights. Great.
Bless, thank you. Well, it's been great spending some more time with you, and we will definitely be back again for another episode soon. Thanks for watching and listening. See you next time.
Bye. Lots of love.
Bye.
Bye.
To gain access to private spiritual development classes, guided meditations, please visit www.patreon, that's patreon.com/The Australian Ghost Whisperer.